Hello everyone and welcome back to F1 2019 to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the previous video of China, the Chinese Grand Prix, go check it out right now. I'm not going to leave a link in the description, but you can go to my channel and check it out there. We have a new upgrade for chassis, which would be very cool, and you know, it's the usual messages from Carl and Jeff, just talking about the track and all. We actually get to select a driver as a rival, but right now I'm talking over Emma because I'm just not going to let you listen to her. Anyway, so we do get an option to choose a rival, and she talks about choosing
Circuit has rubbed in with practice, but this is still going to be a difficult session for our drivers as they fight for pole position. Welcome to qualifying here in Azerbaijan. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now and it never gets any easier.
Sit rep, we've got a leak in the hydraulic system, so it's going to be a few minutes before we can get you out.
We've done practice and now we're qualifying, and we actually have a fault with the car, which means we only get to do one lap in Q1, and that lap has put us in P19 for the race tomorrow. It's not ideal, but it's Azerbaijan and we don't really have that big of a pace, so it's okay for now.
Bad luck out there today. Let's talk about it. Are you hoping to have your reliability issues sorted out before qualifying? You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling?
It's already been qualifying, love, so yeah, no, because you know we can't really do that because it's already been qualifying. Anyway, there's a little problem with your question, but you know, still. No, I just suck at driving and I don't know how I got into F1, to be honest. But no, because it's a difficult track and I don't like it. Absolutely, as I said, I suck at driving, but nah, we can make some dive bombs up the inside, it's fine. So, results in terms of rivalry, we're losing it to Lando and we're losing it to Weber. Perfect, we have a double loss of rivalry right now. It's not over yet, we can still bring it back. Let's have a look at all the resource points we get. 50, which puts us with 662, which isn't too bad. Our reputation with the team went down with a couple other teams. Our respect level, however, did go up. coolio. It's not the end of the world. Amazing. Jeff is showing us the weather forecast for the race. Seems like it's going to be a wet, dry race, and right now we're thinking of getting a durability upgrade, seeing as we have the points for it, but we also have a dying ICE. Well, not exactly dying, but you know, it's not handling very well anymore. It's worn out. But yeah, we're just having a little look of all the upgrades we can get and how much they cost, how long they take, and how far up the grid it would put us in that department. Especially with, you know, the engine upgrades, because we really need the engine upgrades, seeing as, you know, we're almost last, we're second to last in the whole field of 10 teams. We're 9th, so yeah, you know, it's not very good, it's not ideal at all, and it's actually kind of embarrassing our, you know, because this is the track with the longest back straight, and we're 9th in terms of engine power, so it's not very good for us. But let's go to race.
Find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's 3.7 miles around a lap of Baku City Circuit then, with 7 rights and 13 lefts, giving us a total of 20 corners. Watch out for the safety car today. Incidents are already common on this circuit, and the wet conditions will only make things worse, particularly through the incredibly narrow turn 8. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to ask you about Lando Norris. They're still relatively new to a sport which does have a high learning curve and, of course, little tolerance for mistakes.
That's right, it is a difficult environment to come into. In junior categories, you're competing against drivers with similar levels of experience, but some of these guys in Formula 1 have been there for over a decade. But I have to say, in this case, it's so far so good.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Devon Butler and Bottas, Perez, Gasly, Hülkenberg and Daniel Ricciardo, Magnussen, Grosjean, Lucas Faber and Raikkonen, Albon, Giovinazzi, Moore and Robert Kubica. Norris and George Russell ends our grid lineup. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, be wary of the cars ahead braking suddenly into one. We could ruin our race if we hit them. Good luck.
Well, hopefully we don't hit anyone. It wouldn't be very good. But we did crash, or... One, two, three, 4 and 5 red lights, and away we go into Azerbaijan for a 26 lap race. We pulled it inside, but that won't stop the Kubica coming all the way down, and we actually try and avoid a couple of people. We touch Raikkonen on the back a little, and we get a warning for the collision that we had with Kubica, and it's not really good for us in this start. But we're P16 from 19th, I believe, right? 19th, so it's not that bad, but you know, we only made up 2 positions in 17th. Albon's also behind us, but I'm trying to go down Giovinazzi's inside, but we kind of, you know, missed the turn for it and almost turned into the wall there. But he's still on our side. They're on the inside line, but I actually go around his outside, which was really good for us. But in lap 7, now we were 3 wide with the Williams, Giovinazzi and myself, and I came out on top on the outside bit and was lucky to not hit the wall. But this race so far has been quite boring. It's lap 11 now, with the only actual action that we get It's already, looking to dry out as Russell's trying to go around our outside into that corner, but it wasn't the best. So 2 laps later, once again, Giovinazzi's going on our inside. Hopefully we can go around the outside and we just about keep the position, but it's not ideal for us to be slowing down so much as to Kubica already having half the circuit of advantage from us. But on the same lap we actually go into the pits for the first time this race, just about making the pit entry required speed, and Giovinazzi's also coming in with us. And this race, or this stop, we're actually going onto the slicks. We have seen the transition already, and Russell has also came in this lap, but we're past them. And Giovinazzi seems to be held up in the pits, so we actually do get an advantage over him. But 4 laps later he made that gap up and flew past us in the straight on lap 17 to 18 in the back straight. We actually do lose him with that move. So this is lap 20 now. Russell's going on our inside, and Lando's also right behind us, but they actually go into the pits, or Russell is at least. But yeah, Lando is also going into the pits. So yeah, and Giovinazzi's also went in the pits, so now I'm back in front of him, but we also do need to make one last stop on the next lap. So hopefully this will result in us getting back in front of Lando with 4 laps left. It would be vital for us to do so. But Giovinazzi's already in front of us. So did Russell just go past us, and Lando's right there. So yeah, we lost 2 positions in the pits overall. It's not good at all, but it's lap 24 now, so 2 laps later I almost drove it into the wall, and Kimi Räikkönen's out of the race with a engine failure a couple corners after me, or in front of me. He had to retire the car. So lap 26 now, obviously last lap, last straight, last corner, last everything, and we came P18th out of the bunch. It's not very good for us, but Azerbaijan does not seem to be a strong suit for our car or me as a driver either.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again. So let's review the updated driver standings. Sebastian Vettel will be very happy with that result as he extends his championship lead. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
It's a tough one, but I think I have to give it to Robert Kubica. He really impressed me out there today, and I think he has every right to be happy with that result.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, let's hope for a better race next time out, eh? It's time for us to renegotiate your contract. Here you can see the current deal. Once negotiations begin, the team will make you an offer. You can accept if you like, but I strongly suggest we push for better terms. All right, the terms have been agreed. All that's left is to sign the paperwork. You'll be on this new deal from the next race weekend.
So as you can see, this is the results for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We've seen a wet to dry race, but it wasn't really ideal for us in the McLaren. We got a double non-point scoring position. And, you know, I'm not good around this track for some reason. It does not suit my style of driving. And we finished behind Lando in P17 and 18 with obviously 0 points. The only actual driver that finished behind me was Albon, who actually got lapped by the end. I didn't, so it seems to be okay for me so far. And, you know, let's look at the results in terms of the rivalry breakdown. Lando got 4 points while I got 2, and I got 2, and Weber also got 4. So we're still losing both our rivalries. Lando's supposedly will win very soon, and I'm only 3 points behind Weber. Let's have a look at the resource points that we're actually going to get. Like the total that we got in this session was 316, which adds up to make 978 for us right now. We didn't get the team objective, and our reputation with our team, McLaren, dropped by a mile.